What is up, my friends? Your weekend has officially started, and you are very welcome along to this evening's Anfield Agenda news update. Over the course of this video, we're going to speak about Milos Kerkez and Liverpool's pursuit of him. We're going to be giving you some fresh news from Melissa Reddy around the surprise of the announcement of the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation, as well as some positive news on the contract situation for Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. We're then going to be speaking about Hugo Ekitike, and again, excuse my pronunciation of the gentleman's surname, I'm still working on it, and lots more over the next few minutes, but you know the score. I want to know your thoughts, so do let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and I hope to see you guys tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda, where we'll go through all of this in more detail, and I will finally be able to announce to you where I will be and what I will be doing on the last day of the season. I'm going to be in Liverpool, and it's going to be an amazing event, and I can't wait to talk to you about it tonight. Until then, let's get stuck into the news. So, Milos Kerkez. We've spoken previously about Liverpool's interest in him, and it's no breaking news to anybody that the Reds need a left-back in the upcoming transfer window. With regards to an outgoing, I would say the smart money would be on Costas. It looks like Andy Robertson wants to stay and fight for his place, and I think that's the smart move from the Reds. With regards to Kerkez coming in, well, let's see what the man himself has had to say about his future. Speaking with The Athletic, he said, "As a kid, you dreamed to play at the highest level, to win trophies and to be on the best teams. In the summer transfer window, we'll see what happens." And I think, look, we mentioned about Julio Soler and the fact that Bournemouth have already brought in a player there to replace Kerkez if they lose him. But Jason Burton, the Telegraph, makes a very valid point, and one that I've been trying to make as well over the past few months. And Jason said there is no way that Bournemouth will sell more than one or two of their prized assets in a single season. And I can totally understand this. I mean, you don't build up a squad full of good players like that just to have them all ripped away from you in one window. Yes, they would probably see themselves as a club that does have to make some strategic sales to put some money into the coffers to allow the club to continue to develop and push forward. Iraola has done some great work there, and some of the signings made from Richard Hughes before he became Liverpool's sporting director, well, they're paying off as well. Jason, though, goes on to say there is strong interest in their players, especially Dean Huijsen, Milos Kerkez, Antoine Semenyo and Justin Kluivert. Liverpool have registered an interest in Dean Huijsen. So like I've said, can you get Dean Huijsen and Kerkez out of Bournemouth in one summer? Well, maybe. It's probably going to be an expensive one, but it could be done. With Huijsen, keep an eye on Real Madrid, like we've been saying over the last week. I don't know if they'll have the financial ability to go and pay the 50 million for Huijsen, but let's wait and see. If Liverpool could bring in both of those two gents, well, I'd be over the moon with that. With regards to Antoine Semenyo, if Mo stays, and we're going to talk about Mo in a second, they don't really have a need there to bring in somebody in this particular window. Gives us a bit more time to plan for a proper successor for Mo. So, I mentioned at the start of the video that Melissa Reddy has given a bit of an update around all things Liverpool. And Melissa is one of the journalists that covers, well, not just the club, but a whole host of clubs in England, United, Liverpool, and many others now work with Sky. I think she's a fantastic journalist, and one that I certainly wouldn't put in the category with the other few that I've been complaining about for a while. So Melissa has said that Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah are desperate to stay at Liverpool, and optimism remains strong that both will renew. Now, this follows on from stories coming out over the last few days from Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein and many other journalists who've all pointed to the fact that it now looks very likely that Virgil and Mo will extend their stay at Liverpool. Speaking about the Trent situation, how that's evolved, this is what Melissa Reddy had to say. Both Real Madrid and Trent Alexander-Arnold were surprised of the stories that broke this week, giving nothing major has changed since January. No agreement, no deal has been signed, nor has any conclusion been communicated to either club. So, I wonder, and I am just thinking out loud here, so don't take this as a fact, but I wonder, did somebody from the Liverpool side put this out there? Did Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards or somebody else from the club maybe put this story out to allow them then to come back in and negotiate the situations for Mohamed Salah and Virgil? Maybe they got a little flavour of the frustration in the fan base, and I'm choosing my words very carefully here, and decided that, well, look, it's looking like Trent isn't going to extend, so let's get cracking with Mo and Virgil, and the money that maybe we would have had aside for Trent, we can push some of that towards the captain and, of course, our Egyptian king. Again, just thinking out loud here, but your thoughts on that or any other possible reasons for this league happening would be most welcome. Melissa Reddy has also given a bit of news that saddens me, but I also understand it. I'm a huge fan of Harvey Elliott. I've made that be clear for many years. But Melissa's reported that a good offer for Harvey Elliott would be accepted. And this isn't really a surprise. We've seen the lack of opportunities for Harvey this season. And if I'm still Jurgen on the brain, lads. If Arne does feel that maybe he can't find a place for Elliott in the team regularly enough, then look, as much as I would love Harvey to stay, I've always said I want the manager to have the squad that he wants, and if he deems that Harvey Elliott may be a surplus to requirements and he could bring in a good fee, who knows? I'd like to think that if Harvey went out into the Premier League, did really well, that Liverpool would put in a clause maybe to bring him back or have first refusal, but I'm allowing my emotional side here to get the better of me. If Arne thinks that he isn't going to cut it, then as sad as that'll be for me as an Elliott fan, I've got to respect the manager's decision. Also, Melissa Reddy said that Liverpool have made Trent Alexander-Arnold lucrative offers to remain at the club. Yet again, though, all signs point to him leaving the club. And look, it's been widely reported by Sky Sports, David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, and pretty much everybody else that Trent's on his way to Madrid. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Now, Hugo Ekitike, and excuse my pronunciation yet again, I'm still working on it. He's been quoted as being available for £66 million, according to sources close to Eintracht Frankfurt. That is the number that they'd be looking for. It's certainly a lot more appealing of a number than the 120 to 150 million pound for Alexander Isak, as an example. He puts him up there with the likes of Cunha, who has a release clause pretty close to that one. Benjamin Sesko, and the money that he's been asked there for, or RB Leipzig are asking, is about that money, maybe a little bit higher. So you can see a price bracket there for some of these forwards, a little step down from the very top of the pile, which would of course be Alexander Isak. Will he leave Newcastle? I don't know, but I still struggle to see a world where Liverpool pay that much money. So keep an eye on that situation as well. And the Mail have said that Mohamed Salah is close to extending his stay at Liverpool Football Club. He's received a more convincing offer, partly thanks to the possible departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold, which reduces Liverpool's wage bill. So it kind of backs up what I was saying a little bit earlier, that maybe Liverpool have looked at the situation, thought, okay, we don't have this pot of money, which I would imagine would have been in excess of 250 grand a week for Trent, maybe even higher. And now that they can keep Mohamed Salah and Virgil and give them the wages that the lads would feel more comfortable with, well, this feels like a win-win situation. It's never great losing Trent, but like we've always said, that decision was his to make. So if Mo and Virgil get signed on, for me, the summer's looking a lot less daunting, although there's still a lot of work to do. And don't worry, we will be trying our best to hold the owners, Hughes and Edwards, to account for the sales or for the purchases that we need to come in this summer, and of course for some of the sales to go out as well. So that is it from me for now, folks, but I will see you tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. Premier League predictions video will be coming out on Sunday this week, because of course the games are Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and then the preview for the Everton game will be coming out on Monday. But hope to see you tonight, because we'll have more news that we haven't had a chance to report today, as well as catching up with everybody ahead of the weekend. So much love, my friends. We'll talk tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.